Peter Piper picked Paxos to pay PayPal's processing fees. All that and more on today's Blockchain Basement.
Bum, 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 bum. You ready for this? I'm ready. Welcome.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Out to give the numbers out. And I was like, no, hang up the phone right now.
Or like when it dropped in 2020, was it like exciting?
400,000 to 600,000. The generational signals are now.
Level. So I don't even know if we're gonna get back below there. But if we do, that's kind of where we.
Always smell the blanket first. Welcome all to the Blockchain Basement. Gets a little weird down here. We digest all the crypto news. This is a place where we can kind of fill in all the different graphs because we try to cover everything happening in crypto. But we have an anomaly in the studio right now. What is going on my couch? Taco, can you please do a reveal? Who's behind this sheet? Who is doing this to us?
Are we ready? Are we ready? Who could it be? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Who is it?
Are you gonna do it?
Chat's delayed. I forget.
Yeah, they're delayed.
Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
There it is.
Aww. It's a BJ. So cute.
In all of your glory, BJ Biscuit Jesus joining us for another episode of the Blockchain Basement. Taco, glad to have you back, man. You were not able to be on it for a few weeks there, and it was very sad. Very sad.
It was sad, but I am glad to be back. I'm glad to be here and surrounded by all these amazing people.
Yes, you bring a great light, an energy to you.
For real.
Get a zoom in on this guy. Look at the light on this guy.
When life hands you lemons,
You know, no better way to start a day than to see that
you make
coming
lemonade. Oh, and they got the pink traveler's hat. All like the umbrellas on it.
All
It's a golf
things.
hat. I like golf.
All things. And then look at Hannah.
Wait, I just wanted to say Taco's always good energy, like pure
Yeah.
good energy. But what is that brand? Is it the same brand that you used to wear?
Yeah, always same brand, Pink Dolphin.
Pink Dolphin. Everything about Taco, like Taco is his name. He wears Pink Dolphin. Like, I'm just bullish.
Yeah.
Just good guy.
How are you doing today, Hannah?
I'm good. Oh, I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good. I'm great. I look funny today.
Look, you're acting pretty extreme. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of, I guess, hyper.
Little extreme. Maybe you've been
She's
touching
been
too much
doing that.
grass. Owen, the
Why do
long
people
lost
keep
prince.
saying that? What? Never mind. Move on.
Moving on. Owen, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
I got a funny story about touching grass.
Oh God,
Actually,
what is it?
yeah. So this crypto guy, you know, the joke. You have to go outside, touch grass. You've been in like the basement too long. Well, he actually did go out and touch grass. Turns out he's allergic, so he cannot touch grass.
That is
So
a
he
major
went
bummer.
back to the basement.
My staking pool is NES pool, like
We
Nintendo
need to start
Entertainment
posting
System.
the links to your NES pool more often, don't you think?
Yeah.
Everyone's been asking NES pool. It's BJ's staking pool. We have a little bit of staking stories that happened that BJ was not able to comment on. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Lace wallet upgrades that came to Cardano. Obviously, Bitcoin not really doing too much. It's pulled back a little bit since this morning. Bitcoin coming in at 26,350 bucks. Not much movement there. Ethereum still at that 1,600 mark, looking good. BNB still above $200. Besides all of the FUD, XRP clambering for its life near the 50-cent mark, just under it. Can't catch a break. We'll see where that goes. Dogecoin, 6 cents. Now, Taco, is Dogecoin ever going to reclaim its previous all-time high, in your opinion?
What was it at? Like 69 cents?
Right as the SNL episode went off.
Yeah,
69
I remember that.
cents.
I was watching it, and I think I was selling my Doge on
I
that day.
shorted.
You shorted?
Perfect.
Yeah,
There it
Either
is.
sell or short when
It was
it reaches
pretty
mainstream.
obvious.
Yeah, Elon
Y'all
Musk
are
on
welcome.
SNL definitely was a sell signal.
So with its inflation, I mean, it's highly inflationary. We see Twitter, or now X, you know, the Dogecoin symbol is next to Elon Musk's kind of description on his Twitter account. There's some hints that Dogecoin may be put into play on X, the app itself. In my opinion, just because of the inflation that it has, it's very inflationary. I think it's going to be very difficult to ever get back up to that 69-cent level. I'm thinking it'll reach like 40 cents, maybe 50 cents in the next bull run. That's kind of what I'm thinking for Dogecoin. It's not that I think it's going to be a major loser. I think it's going to be here and exist. You can't kill the memes, but you know, that being said, I don't see Dogecoin hitting $1. If it does, then I'm wrong in a good way and did better than I thought. But that's kind of what my thoughts are on it.
I half agree.
Yeah.
Because, like last cycle, it was like the Wall Street bets caused it, the initial pump, and then Elon Musk kind of backing it, and then, talking about it all the time, and then SNL. It happens very rapidly, especially with these coins, meme coins.
Yes.
It's all like trend based. It's all hype cycle based. So if something like Twitter X incorporating Doge, you could see a lot of buys coming in. However, like people, it's been around. So
inflation's what, 5 million per day?
I believe it's either 5 million or it's 5 something, million or billion. Let me see what the
because what
inflation
that was 18 months ago that the SNL thing happened. I'm rough guessing, but I don't know the difference between supply between then and now. But for it to get back up there, like I would love to actually go on the coin perspective and see what the market cap would have to be for $1.
Mm-hmm.
I think keep in mind
I'm gonna guess and say it had to be 100 billion. No, not 100 billion. 20 billion.
20 billion.
Fuck no.
Higher or lower?
I'm gonna say like 250 bill
for it to get to $1. Well, what was it?
I mean, we're about to pull it up and do it. I don't know.
Let's go to
Well, let's speculate while he pulls it up.
Let's
My spec is 250
This
bill.
isn't important because this is the kind of question you're going to get asked if you're in crypto, you're in regular life, and people are asking, hell, you're in crypto? I've seen Dogecoin, right? What do you think of Dogecoin? I think that even if we're not,
I almost wore my Dogecoin shirt I bought at Rare Evo because it was hilarious.
yeah.
Can
People
I-
ask about it. They want to know.
Steve-O said, I've said this before when I talk to normies and I ask them what crypto coins they can name. They say Bitcoin and Doge.
Exactly.
True. Steve, what do you think? Like, do you think it's going to get a new all-time high? I want to know.
Yeah. I mean, I think, let's see here. Let's look at the overall market cap where it reached. Let's see here. So it got up to around $80 billion. Now, as Taco said, this thing happened fast. Look at how quickly that occurred. Let's cut down this time frame a little bit.
But yeah, pull up the coin perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm going
80
to
billion
change my
topped out
answer.
last time, right?
80 billion. So I'm going to say 120 billion.
120 billion. Put 120 billion, and we get 85 cents. So that would be better than
get up to $1. So I said 200. Well, I said 250, didn't I?
yeah. If it hit 250
probably.
billion,
Yeah, no. So go back down. What is it at $1? I mean, I definitely overshot it.
so right at $1 would
But
be
it's still
140.
$141 billion.
But you got it inflating right now, so that number is actually probably going to have to be somewhere closer to the $200 billion mark to reach that $1 level by the time we get to the next real blow off top moment or the next bull run for crypto in general. So I'm thinking that we got to hit right around that 190 to $200 billion mark for market cap in Dogecoin to accomplish that $1 a coin level. I know this says 146 right now, but we're talking about a year or two from now. You're going to have a lot of inflation that's happening in between now and then. So you got to keep that in mind. And, I kind of wanted to do that live on the show to show people what my process and my mindset is about when I'm looking at these things. I already have a game plan to hold into the next bull market at this point, right? So what I'm buying, I'm figuring out what the inflation rates are going to be by the time that I plan to sell it. That's an important little side note to keep in mind. See things like Dogecoin, like people probably aren't going to get crushed on this thing. I think it's going to exist, but
oh, it's never going away.
yeah, I don't think you can kill the memes. But I think that it's basically just going to capture like $100 billion market cap, and then you're going to be dealing with the inflation level of it at the time. I'm thinking 40, 50 cents.
Yeah, but you got to think about one of the biggest reasons or one of the biggest claims that Bitcoin did not hit the 150 or 100,000 or 100 million.
$100,000 mark.
$100,000 point everyone expected.
Yeah.
Is you're adding all these layer twos, you're adding all these other projects, and liquidity is going to go to those. So how much of the, I guess, status quo is not the word I want, but the zeitgeist is Doge going to continue to capture when there's all these other layer twos and everything else out there. But then at the same time, there's certain layer twos that we can sit in this room with people who deal with crypto every single day that they've never heard of. So it comes back to, I think, what people were originally saying. Oh, you're not in crypto? What are the two what ones do you know? Bitcoin, Doge. So there is kind of that advantage there. But it hitting $100 billion market cap seems a little wild. Also, if we're going to be starting to do the bull run coming up, inflation through the roof, foreclosures aren't happening as much as people think, because people are usually hitting what's known as forbearance. Plus, there's a bunch of companies that will actually invest in your home to share part of the profit. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but it's absurd, because it's like they'll invest up to 15% of the home, but they get 40% of your profit. So it's going to become
selling.
So it's going to become extremely predatory. But more what I'm getting at is, I think when the bull run hits again, a lot of the, I guess, dumb money or retail money that you're expecting to see, you're not going to see, because people are broke.
Yeah.
But we'll actually see where that goes.
Well, I mean, there's some things that you can't deny. Like, people are getting more broke as time goes on. I saw saving levels have collapsed, and we have kind of resort type rentals, Airbnb type rentals collapsing as well.
So that's definitely collapsing.
Yeah. So it's like, you got to take those things into account. There's a lot of factors going on. I mean, that's why I try to pay attention as well, not only to crypto, but to the macro markets, to understand or get a good bellwether of where things are going in general. And right now, basically, I want to start the show. Well, I know we've already started the show. I actually forgot to call out the chat. XRP Rails, VZ Cat, Michael Moore, what up, man? BG, all you wonderful people. Corey, Steve-O, I saw you in there, man. Thank you for coming on. So basically, something that I want to talk about is that Blockchain Backer put this post up, just highlighting that this is not 2020. This is stop using recency bias. This line in itself, I am a prepper, and, yes, COVID did happen a few years ago, but was COVID probable? No, but it was possible, and it did happen. Now that people are beginning to kind of try to price in a Black Swan event, feels a little awkward to me, because it's not really the norm of how life continues to go on. Usually things just get kicked down the road. And this is just a good highlight of that. This should be a 4-year cycle and a block reward halving theory scenario, not 12K. Not revisiting the lows. It's either this or Doomtown. And guess what? The price is right on track for the upward movement, and the masses just capitulated to the low. Now, this is just a zoom in of it. This Bitcoin to the US dollar. One is our current cycle that we're in right now. This darker line is kind of where we're at. This one, I believe this is actually the previous movements of the cycle, and really we're right in line with where we should be. I mean, things are following along, and to be pricing in for Bitcoin to just guarantee to have a Black Swan event when we're looking at, this yearly, this is the time frame that we're talking about, having this massive Black Swan getting us back down to these levels or even below it.
I mean, your Black Swan's probably 19.7.
19.7? Yeah.
Anybody saying 10, good luck.
Yeah, and that would bring you right to this, basically right about there, where you have your previous, just barely a top in 2017. Then you have some chop of where you fell down to, that hard stop on this disastrous decline. A little bit below it, then everyone realized that it cost more money to mine Bitcoin than it was worth selling on the market. So then we started going upwards again from there. I'm not waiting on 19.
Who's got more money and doesn't care how much it costs to profit? That owns 50% of the 5 biggest miners? Yeah, BlackRock.
Yeah,
if that's your narrative, it costs too much, people aren't going to keep doing it. Oh, somebody's going to, and it's BlackRock.
And a Black Swan is like, you can't.
The Black Swan is BlackRock.
No. There you go. I mean, but we see BlackRock here incoming, right? So it's not really like a Black Swan. A Black Swan is something that you don't expect, that absolutely shakes the markets. And really, markets across the world have been operating in a position of fear for the last few years. So they already have priced in a lot of the painful type scenarios and doomsday scenarios that have been laid out, from these interest rate hikes, potential bank insolvencies, things getting really shaky on the economic side and in civil unrest side. So the fear is already here. And to say that you're waiting on some Black Swan event, basically the next step is a giant mushroom cloud somewhere, and things get really ugly and weird from there. So, I can't imagine that cryptocurrency transactions will be the smoothest if something
But right
like
now,
that
if we end up getting a Natalie Portman, it seems like it's going to be almost a trifecta.
Did you say if we get a Natalie Portman?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't stutter.
Okay.
She was in the movie Black Swan. It was hilarious. I'm clever.
Anyway, clever.
But you potentially have the vid going on, the housing market crash, bank insolvencies. Do we even really need another? That's more of a trifecta than what we had in 2020.
Right. Absolutely. There's all kinds of stuff going on like that. So to expect it to just continue and continue without, kind of expecting the elites to try to pad things over and make the election look good so that they get hired again is not really kind of internally honest, I would say. If you were always looking for the lights to shut off, I mean, I'm a prepper. I'm prepared if it does, but I do that just so I don't have to worry about it if it does happen. And if we do get a capitulation down to 9K, 10K Bitcoin, like, we've heard when we were at 17K, I'll be buying. You know what I mean? Because I think it's here to stay. Information's moving online. And I saw this, this is a revisit of a cup and handle that was noticed by Crypto Gel. I like this account, Jelly. Is it Jelly? Do you want to be called Jelly? Bitcoin has been forming the massive cup and handle pattern right below the $30,000 resistance. Once this resistance breaks, expect fireworks. And, Bitcoin did punch above this level just barely for a moment in time, but it really has been getting slapped down right at that 30K level, which, as you see, was kind of developed right here at the beginning when we originally began that awesome pump into infamy right here. It had a little bit of a retracement back down to this 30K level. Then we continued on up. Now, in this recent past, we're starting to consolidate and make this cup and handle pattern, which I'm a longer term trader, and this looks extremely bullish to me. So that's why, I stepped back about a week ago, and basically I was just done betting against the market. I was, seeing downturn come from 31K, got back in at $25,000 per Bitcoin, but I got into more aggressive positions. And really, those aggressive positions, I saw some things happening on the horizon with Chainlink. And so I want to highlight kind of what's going on with Chainlink and why I see really big things coming for this project. I've held it for years and years. And now I'm just continuing to get more bullish on it, which makes me feel great. And now, I want to preface this. I'm not trying to start a war with XRP Army. I'm saying I hold both, and you're probably both going to get a piece of the pie. So let's dig in here. This is from Chainlink, highlighting ANZ_AU. This is the Australia New Zealand Bank Commission, I believe. This is the guy that represents them. It's ANZ Australia. And they are basically the Australia New Zealand Banking Charter. One of the largest institutional banks in Australia used Chainlink to successfully demonstrate cross-chain purchases of tokenized assets with ADC and ANZ issued stablecoin. So they're using a stablecoin from the bank to turn into something happening as a tokenized asset on Chainlink. Okay, so this is kind of the focal point of my focus on here is kind of separating the two of these. I see a lot of XRP maxis.
So the police state country is really pushing for a CBDC. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, of course they are. They're pushing for a CBDC.
Why are my people insane?
I don't know.
Or half my people.
I don't know why they're insane. You tell me. Look at the shirt.
Oh, with Feifei
Look at
and the
shirt.
Original Doge?
That's why they're insane.
It's Ein?
Right there.
The data dog?
Now, there's a big difference between stable coins and tokenized assets, though. See, this get messed up a lot in crypto influence sphere, and it drives me absolutely
one
crazy.
of them's theoretically backed by something. So
right.
I think the closest we will ever get to a gold standard again is theoretically a tokenized asset, assuming it's truly backed by something.
Mm-hmm.
So versus a stable coin's really backed by just
aggression.
Whatever.
It's backed by aggression and violence. That's what it's backed by. So Chainlink was actually getting a piece of the pie on tokenized assets, right? So very different than CBDC interactions. We saw this news break from Chainlink that they've successfully demonstrated their cross-chain purchase of these tokenized assets with ANZ. And now we dig a little bit further into this. This is just Anurag Saween, the director of digital asset services at ANZ, just talking about, someone asked him a question wondering what your impressions were of the CCIP approach to enabling these transactions to happen, meaning the Chainlink way of doing things. And his response was, the approach summarized in one line is all about building an institutional grade of networks. It reduces barriers to entry as well. So not horrible, but well, we saw that the reason why I bring this up is because this news broke today that Swift is moving into these three central banks, testing its CBDC interoperability. This is a different story and a different conversation than what happened last month.
What three banks? Because the Bank of America or anything connected to Charles Schwab is on there, I'd be very scared.
No, I mean, these are, let me see, I had the banks down here. Well, they did it on I have the banks right here.
Singapore,
The Royal Bank of Canada, Banque de France, Société Générale.
Bundesbank.
Yeah, Deutsche Bundesbank, NatWest, Monetary Authority of Singapore, and BNP Paribas. Now, I'll just read through this so we can clearly separate the two conversations. So just to clarify what's going on here, SWIFT, the global financial messaging network, said that 3 central banks are now beta testing, meaning they're just trying it out, seeing how it works. Its CBDC connector solution, the interoperability project, seeks to enable the use of these things, CBDCs, for cross-border payments. Okay, cross-border payments, bank to bank. For now, it's probably going to be person to person by 2025, maybe quicker in BRICS nations, but they'll put things together poorly and break them.
Yeah, I love how subtly you said that.
What?
Maybe quicker in BRICS nations.
Yeah, maybe quicker in BRICS nations.
Elaborate.
Well, BRICS is beating us to the punch when it comes to building out this digital infrastructure of payments. So the U.S., I feel like, is dragging their feet just a little bit to see who breaks what. Think about what we did in World War II. Did we hop right in there? No. We let things happen, get pretty nasty, figured out the weak points, and then we went in and cleaned house.
You mean figured out when we could profit?
Well, yes. And so what we see now is BRICS is just going head over heels. I'm all about CBDCs, digital yuan. I think I say that correctly now. I can't remember who corrected me. Yuan. What a terrible way to say a name. What?
Yuan?
It's not Juan.
It's yuan.
Nuh-uh. I was today years old.
Yep. See, there you go. But yes, BRICS is going to beat us to the punch when it comes to CBDCs. Likely going to be China first. Can't remember who's the other one. There's another one that's like, I see African nations are moving to it. Actually, African nations are moving to it the quickest, and they are receiving the fastest kinetic response from their population of any country in the world as they see civil unrest and riots break out now that central bank digital currencies are cutting off their access to physical cash, thus taking away their privacy, thus centralizing all the information flow to already corrupt governments. So think about that. The lifespan of a corrupt government that's outwardly corrupt, not soft corruption and confusing corruption like the Americas, takes less time to collapse than countries like America that at least have a facade of freedom of expression and payment. So just saying that, SWIFT is working on this CBDC system with these central banks right now. This is different than what they're talking about last month. The last month stuff is why I'm so insanely bullish on Chainlink. And it is because SWIFT themselves has come out on their actual website. This is not some publication. This is swift.com. And we look at what they're talking about here. SWIFT exploring blockchain interoperability, removing friction in tokenized asset settlement.
That's funny. That came out on D-Day.
You did?
June 6th.
Oh my gosh. Subtle movements.
Sorry, that World War II, June 6th.
I got you going.
Yeah.
I got you going. Institutional investors increasingly are considering investments in tokenized assets as they seek new forms of value. Honestly, they're seeking new forms of value, but they're also seeking faster ways to transact them to arbitrage their piece of the pie. They make a little bit of money by being in the in-between spots, right? So if you can increase the velocity and the volume of it, you make a little bit more. Anyone seen Office Space where you're taking a fraction of a cent every transaction? But they face a complex challenge. These investments are tracked on a diverse range of blockchain networks that are not interoperable. Each has its own functionality or liquidity profile, which creates a significant overhead friction in managing and trading the assets. That's an important note to, okay, so what they're saying there, listen, you guys, this is great. You've made some really amazing technology that can move value very quickly, but guess what? You're very spread out. You're very disconnected. So that's highlighted in here. And in this new set of experiments, they're going to collaborate with a dozen different major financial institutions from, Australia, New Zealand Banking Group, which is the ANZ, BNB Paribas, BNY Mellon. Now, this one is for the Americas. This is America's oldest bank. This bank, I believe they oversee or have management of $30 trillion. Okay. BNY is a big deal. Citibank,
BlackRock's what, 14?
BlackRock,
I know they're not a bank, but
BlackRock directly oversees 10 trillion.
Okay.
So yeah, that's just to give you a scope on how big BNY Mellon is and how infrastructurally important it is. Citibank, Clearstream, we got Euroclear, Lloyd's Banking Group, just a bunch of big ones to test how firms can leverage their existing SWIFT infrastructure to efficiently instruct the transfer of tokenized value over a range of public and private networks. Chainlink is the leading Web3 service platform that they're using to connect across these networks for the experiment. So all the noise that's going on in cryptocurrency, basically they're using Chainlink because it's taking data from everyone. Now,
this article is what?
1 month
3
old.
months? No, it's not.
Well, let's see
It said
here.
June 6, 2023.
Oh, yeah. So June 6, 2023. Yes. Yep.
This
It
is
is.
relevant.
I mean, but I'm bringing it up again because I see a lot of confusion from the new stuff.
Yeah.
So this is just highlighting that they're actually using Chainlink to bridge across two different asset pools and get access to everything across the board. And we've talked about it again and again. We highlighted it with Engine blockchain. It's not really the game maker that gets rich. It's the one that's giving them all the tools to do so with it. I see Chainlink as the same type of Oracle setup that's going to be heavily relied on in Web3 for these institutions and major banks to get real-time data. That's just how I see it. I know that XRP maximalists are going to come at me and be like, no, we're getting everything. And I've heard that before from some very egotistical people that fell like 1,000 suns into the bottom of the ocean in a glorious manner. So don't be that guy. Have logic in understanding that it's a big, big, wide world of infrastructure that we're trying to capture here, and there's going to be multiple winners. That said, I like Chainlink and I have XRP as well. Okay, so F2 pool, PayPal and the Paxos payment, a little bit of a mess over the past few days. We've covered probably 20 different PayPal stories this week. PayPal's been up to stuff, but this was not good. So F2 pool returned the 20 Bitcoin fee mistake to Paxos, despite being under no obligation to do so. This is from Jameson Lopp, fantastic account at Lopp. Historically, there have been several examples of pools returning egregious fees for obvious mistakes. When even has such an incident when I worked at BitGo in 2016, it was due to an overflow bug in the JavaScript library, BJ's favorite type of scripting. IIRC, that was the 80 Bitcoin fee mistake through a smaller in dollar terms. Bitcoin is an adversarial network, but on the flip side, it's also a cooperative network. Those of us who have devoted significant time and resources to maintaining the network want to see it succeed, and we want folks to feel confident when using it. Miners are humans too, and they realize when people make their mistakes. While retaining the egregious transaction fees for a nice short-term profit, returning those funds is a humane decision. And I just really liked what he said here. It's an adversarial network, but it's also a cooperative network.
Well, the network's not cooperative.
Well,
the people are hopefully cooperative.
There are people that need to also cooperate. And
Yeah.
in general, it can change. If there's a consensus to change it, it can change, but you need that consensus to do so. And I don't know, it kind of was nice to see, you know what I mean? A little fat finger mistake like that. I mean, I want to see, as much as I dislike PayPal for the misinformation movements they did, I want to see crypto spread to the masses. I want to see people empowering themselves financially despite all the misinformation. If it's all of us moving and saying the same information, it can't really be called misinformation. At that point, it's information. So it's up to us, the people, to be loud about what we see in the news or what we see on the street and call out narratives that aren't really real. You know what I mean? And to see this kind of cooperation happening from the miners was nice for me. And make sure to follow Jameson Loop. He gets many feathers ruffled, but he's a very good account to make you think critically about if you have a hard-sided opinion about something. He'll definitely make you second guess that. And just why are we doing this is because I feel like the internet system that we have right now is susceptible to attack and essentially broken because our entire infrastructure relies on it. We see something crazy happened in Vegas this week. I was meaning to bring it up throughout the week, but Las Vegas is still currently dealing with cyber attack shenanigans. MGM reports that it is under attack by cyber miscreants, causing their gaming machines and hotel communications to go out for now 5 days. And if that wasn't enough, word on the street is that Caesar Entertainment decided to make it rain by paying hackers a boatload of cash to untangle their own ransomware mess. I looked into this a little bit more. We do have reports Caesars paid millions in ransom to cybercrime group prior to the MGM attack. This stuff is spreading. Hackers are just getting insanely involved with.
Wait,
So
This feels like the most Ocean's 13
Oh,
thing
I know,
ever.
right?
Wait,
So-
they paid them days before it
Yeah.
happened.
Yes.
and it still happened.
Well, this is Caesars
No.
avoided it.
They did.
Yeah, but not
More
NGM.
what I'm getting at is, was this a group or was this a hiring?
Oh god. Well,
That's
I mean,
why I said the most Ocean's 13 thing ever,
Yeah,
specifically because
no,
they're
I
going
know.
after the rival casino.
I mean, and one thing that is I also wanted to note within this story is it sounds like they got access to this hack by looking up an employee on LinkedIn and calling it. It only took like a 10-minute phone conversation for this entire debacle to begin. So you don't have to be some, Chinese Russian agent floating around in a hot air balloon over the United States to be pulling something off like this. Basically they just looked up information, called someone, socially engineered them into giving them access, and here we are. So if you're in Vegas, you're going to Vegas soon, aren't you?
Yep.
When are you going there?
I'm not telling.
Oh, okay.
I
Fine.
will be there.
You'll be there?
He's
Are
secret.
you going to win it all?
No, I gamble very little.
Yeah.
I like playing blackjack, and then I'm not technically on a list yet, but apparently if I actually do become a member at the Magic Castle, I'm not allowed to play any card games.
Really?
I don't know if that's just a rumor, though.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, just be careful when you're out there. I wanted to give a shout out. I feel really bad for Jason Casper today. I saw that this is a friend of the channel. Jason is a fellow prepper. I've heard that he's a metalhead, and he just sounds like an all around
Yeah, he tore his
good
pants and
human
his
being.
balls came out on stage.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I
Okay.
didn't stutter again.
What are these? Are these you giving me these?
It's
Thin mints.
the Federal Reserve. Turn it upside down
Oh God. No.
because it's empty.
Oh,
God,
you sicko. Well, poor Jason Casper. It looks like $700,000 worth of his crypto was stolen last night. Go check out his latest YouTube channel. This is just a very big reminder. Even if you've been in crypto, even if you think you know everything that's going on and you know how to do all the swaps and everything, still stay vigilant. This is something that can happen to the best of us. Even people in this building have been hacked, and you have to really, really, really be careful. We are in the wild, wild west here. Very speculative, fast-moving environment, and there are people that see that you're making money in it or that you have value in it. So
I wanted to comment on this though, because I did watch 90% of his video, and he goes in to say that like it happened in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. So it's a hot wallet. So you get like your private keys, which you're not supposed to share with anybody. So I'm curious as to how someone could just get those funds. Like, did he connect to a website? Did he approve all tokens when he connected to like anything? I'm just I need more information, because I mean, although it's terrible, for the average viewer, I feel like it's something that would be valuable to figure out exactly what he did. Because,
Absolutely.
yeah. Again, like I've got hot wallets, and I don't keep any of the seed phrases on anything connected to the internet.
Do you know the only difference between a hot wallet and a cold wallet?
Connecting to the internet or
The
not?
temperature?
did you say the temperature?
Far simpler.
Oh my God.
How your seed phrase is created. Hot wallet, it happens online. Cold wallet, it happens connected to nothing.
Right.
Then with certain cold wallets, you can have like a Trezor, for example. You can have a PIN code that, say your PIN code is 1234. What it will do is it will randomize the keypad. So you still have to know the numbers, but it is the connection of the keypad, knowing where the numbers are, plus your number, that actually allows a transaction to happen. But again, the key difference is that your seed phrase is made online versus not online. I did a video a while ago teaching people how to make a Pi Trezor.
Yeah.
But unless somebody
should do another
physically in the room behind you, there's no way for them to have that seed
Why
phrase.
don't we make another Raspberry Pi video?
I'm down
So-
to do it again.
We should.
So you say all that. I feel like Jason Casper is a smart person, and able to generate that much money through leverage trading on like Mexi, Bybit. So that was his like almost savings account. Yeah, I just need more information to figure out what happened there, because
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to me.
Speaking of what happened, Deadwood, I'm glad you got your headers back, man. I've been following Deadwood. He's a good human being. He's under there. He's wrenching on I think it was a 74 Chevy or something like that. He's working on a K20, I believe. So good for you, man. BJ, are you getting your Snake energy drinks?
We should. Yeah,
They came out.
They're starting to
Look
ship
at this.
soon.
Snake energy. Born on Cardano.
I don't know if I'm drinking them.
We're going to drink them live on air.
I mean, I have 24 coming, and then I think if you buy 2 cases, you get X% of. I don't know if it's the sales or I don't know if there's a sell/buy fee associated with
I just love this product.
coin.
Look at the product they built. Like, I want to drink it. The colors excite me.
It looks like it's kind of funny. Like, it looks a little cheap, but also doesn't.
It's cheesy on purpose, I feel like. Yeah.
I mean, I love the blue citrus.
Yeah. We're going to get it.
They should be coming.
I don't know if Snake's going to do well or not. It's a meme coin. Those things are an absolute crapshoot, in my opinion, but I like Snake. I like saying the word Snake. And isn't it like one of the only meme coins with a drink now?
I think it's the only one.
That's something. It'll have something going for it.
So, and Crimson says, I have dead Bobcat miners that are Raspberry Pis. Hey, you can turn them into anything.
We should do that.
Not calling BS on this. This is actually me being interested. I thought you couldn't make helium miners with Raspberry Pis because they intentionally blocked you from being able to do so. Unless you were so OG that wasn't a thing that was blocked originally.
Yeah.
This is me asking questions because I actually don't know.
I think so the Raspberry Pi I saw that had the ability to mine, or they turned into a helium miner, or vice versa. It was a very, very old post, so it might have been old hardware, like you talked about.
But with the Raspberry Pis, I mean, let's say you have 3. What I personally would make is I would make a Retro Pi, so you can play a bunch of old school games. I would make a Pi hole, which is your own VPN that nobody controls anything, so you completely have everything, and then make a Trezor. The nice thing with that is, technically, you could use them all as the same thing and just have the operating system on different drives. And by drives, I mean micro SD cards. But yeah, you have options.
Okay. I think it's worth looking. I liked that we were looking at mining this morning with Nick and just showing really the guts of cryptocurrency. Without all the crazy
the
tech that's behind it.
decentralization. That's what matters. It's like you can learn about this stuff and take everything into your own hands.
Right.
Oh, if anyone missed Eric Voorhees interview, it was like his opening remarks at Permissionless. I highly recommend watching it or listening. It's about a 23 minute video. It will make you like love crypto and want to stand up for what's right in this ecosystem. Highly recommend watching it.
Absolutely.
Crypto is literally so cool, and it just makes sense. And the world right now is a
it can get a little crappy sometimes. I know what you want to say.
Crypto is it just makes sense. It's the solution, and also it adds a little zest.
Yeah.
To everyday life for real.
And like the baseline of why, it's really in the macro. It's your inflation, it's your buying power disappearing. It's the fact that your kin might not even be able to have a chance of owning a home by the time they're 30, 20 or 30 years from now. People that, I have a lot of kids. I'm watching out for their futures.
In 20, 30 years, I think the population is going to be much lower.
Yeah.
Have more babies. Have more babies.
Is that going to be a heart-wrenching situation, do you think, BJ?
Oh, stop.
This is the rest of this. I'll bring up a paper.
We got to be careful. YouTube
I'm not
just
bringing
did
up
new
on
rules.
stream.
I'll
show you something very interesting, a new study I saw.
We'll go to Rumble with this conversation.
Yeah, there's certain stuff I just straight up won't say here.
Are we still going to have light?
Yeah, of course.
Light?
There's ways of making. Oh my god.
The sun is going to rise. Yes. But there's a reason why we're here in crypto. There's a reason why I'm more interested in the volatility of Bitcoin and Chainlink and all these things, because it gives me a chance to actually outpace inflation and not let my family be crushed by the devaluation of a dollar, to put food in my family's mouths and to push things forward into my next generation with strength so that they can operate from a position of strength in their local communities. And if you do that on a microcosm, it turns into a macro over over the course of a few decades. It's not an immediate result, but if we focus now, our kids in 20 or 30 years from now won't be looking at a dystopian cricket eating mess. They'll have a chance to own land. There will be a little bit of pain that we'll go through with the dystopian requests that are being made by the World Economic Forum for the next few years. But I think that humankind in general is waking up, and we are capable of getting it back. It's just going to be a little messy, as all good things are. Nothing good comes easy, folks. So this is from the Kobolesi letter. U.S. national debt is now up $1.5 trillion since the debt ceiling crisis. Remember where they were threatening to shut down our government, scare everyone with government payment jobs into basically just being fine with them, ignoring the national debt until 2025.
Well, this is total BS. The national debt. Oh, they didn't use the word ceiling. I was going to make a joke there. No, they do. Since the debt ceiling.
Yeah.
Well, there's no debt ceiling crisis.
That's the psyop
because
right
there's
here.
no debt ceiling anymore.
Right. And over the last
it's to infinity and beyond. They went straight Buzz Lightyear on it.
And only within the last 3 months, the U.S. has added $500 billion per month within those 3 months of national debt. So bringing us to the 1.5 trillion additional over the past 5 years, the U.S. debt is up by 54%. Okay. So literally since 2018, okay, in 2018, the grocery stores are full. We had mean tweets. We had cheap gas. Everything was great. Meanwhile, now here we are. So this is the graph showing, get my face out of here. I want to show the beginning of this thing. I'll click into this. So this is September 2018. This is our national debt level. Now, keep in mind, this is well zoomed in. This is basically what's happened is we've gone up by 54% within that short amount of time, basically going from, this $22 trillion mark all the way up to $32 trillion. It doesn't really feel like this is paybackable, in a lack of better terms. And really, this is why I think this tweet makes a lot of sense, is because we see this massive increase in federal, deficit and the interest payments going up there within, and we have high interest rates trying to fix the problem of inflation. Now, Charlie Bilio, I just found this guy. I just agreed with his take. I don't know if he's purple, green, or whatever he is. Might be worth a look. But current market expectations for the Fed funds rate, September 2023. Pause. So he's saying that by the markets as of yesterday thought that it was 97% sure that there's going to be a pause at the next Fed meeting. So this is going off that basis. November, another pause. January, another pause. So basically, he's just saying that they're going to pause this whole peak. He's saying that this is the peak, and now we're going to see the big old pussycat of Jerome Powell backpedal and lessen the interest rate levels so that he doesn't crush the banking sector and basically the mortgage sector within commercial and residential real estate, because that's where a lot of the juice.
Well, a lot of those
of our
questions
securities
is a lot of mortgage lenders are looking at a interest rate drop either first quarter or second quarter.
Right.
So saying June seems a little bit more on the back end of that, but it seems to be lining up with the current narrative in that market.
And that's what I think they're going to do. That's really what I think they're going to do. Because if they keep raising interest rates, then they're going to have a mass banking collapse. They've already created the BTFP, the Bank Term Fund Program, in March to stop the contagion of what we saw with Silicon Valley Bank and First Republic, just a slew of different actually pretty large banks that went under. And to stop that, the federal government put in place the Bank Term Funding Program. Now, that cat's kind of out of the bag. That was their third tool for quantitative easing. Now, as I see it, just thinking from, unless they come up with a fourth alternative, which I don't see as very feasible, they're going to have to move back into lessening the interest rate, making money cheap again, and also having to do quantitative easing and actually printing money back into the economy, which 10 years from now is a death sentence, because we just created 80% of all dollars in circulation over the past 3 years. So we've effectively nearly doubled the amount of money that's in circulation in the United States in a very short amount of time. Those repercussions are not going to be truly felt till 5-10 years from now. It's really going to take a while for these things to play out. So that is just the overall lesson of why macro matters. It matters for your pocketbook. It matters for your ability to purchase more cryptocurrency week to week, for your purchasing ability on foods and goods. And these things matter. And also it matters for me because I take crypto and turn it into real estate. So kind of trying to time out. You like that? Is that the plan?
Claps.
Okay. Oh, are you going to get a house? You going to move it to it? You going to do it?
Yeah.
I would recommend even a tiny house.
Yeah.
Even
anything.
a tiny house.
Real estate, baby.
Yeah?
Hey, Jeremy.
I like how excited you get about real estate.
I love real estate.
No one that's young gets excited about real estate anymore because they're so beaten
Land.
down by the idea of it being inaccessible.
Expensive.
See?
Buy dirt.
You look so like hip right now with your hoodie over your head.
Buy
just
dirt
barely.
before the only time you're buying is 18 cubic feet of it.
Buy dirt before you're in it.
Remember that commercial where the guy's like, free real estate?
Free real estate.
Well, it's crazy to think about. Like when America was founded, they gave the real estate out so that you would harvest the land, that you would turn the land into something. Now we're realizing how finite it is. We're running out of construction labor. Material squeezes are starting to happen. So land is beyond Bitcoin. Land is the thing that I can marry my money to the most comfortably. Outside of that, Bitcoin, and then vehicles and weaponry. So, but just see. But yeah, so that's coming now. BJ, you didn't get a chance to talk about this story. I wanted your take on it. Cardano did a multi-tool delegation upgrade with Lace. Cardano's Lace wallet takes a developmental leap forward, giving users the ability to diversify their staking. Basically, let's see here. So employing this unique strategy, Lace generates several staking keys from the same account, creating a new address for each pool with a set portion of Cardano for the user to stake. With this mechanism, ADA holders can now simultaneously stake their tokens in up to five unique pools, diversifying their stake across a range of stake pool operators and Cardano and promoting a more decentralized network with a broader range of block creators. I like this because it spreads it out more, makes it more chaotic and harder to reel in. What's your take on this, BJ? Is this good or bad?
Well, at first it kind of sketched me out because I was like, oh, wow, do you still have self-custody? But if it is automatically generating wallets for you, that seems a little sus. I'm not going to lie. That's based off of me not having knowledge on it. The spreading across multiple pools, honestly, most of the people who are going to be doing this. So one of my biggest problems with staking in general is that it is a popularity contest.
Yeah.
Granted, you're voting with your bag, but most of the people who are going to be doing this, like, I'm going to be honest here, most people are going to be delegating with 1,000 ADA probably, and you're going to move that across 5 pools with 200 ADA in each one, like.
Do you think it's like lessen the squeeze that you get out at the end?
No, it doesn't at all.
You don't think?
So what I have to tell people, especially when I'm getting like big delegators, when they're like, oh, in this pool, this is what my ROS was, and this is what it is. As long as the pool is minting, and it definitely depends on how much of a pool fee that they have, but for the most part, if you're in there for a year, you are going to average out to the same amount of ROS no matter what pool you're in. That's just how it's going to work. As long as the pool's working, they're keeping it maintenanced and they're staying on top of everything. So by delegating across a bunch of pools, I guess it's more like if you had like 10 million ADA, that's where that would actually be kind of cool. Because instead of, taking up roughly a sixth of the saturation point of a pool, you can go across a bunch of pools and actually take pools for potentially not minting to minting. So that's super awesome. But again, the majority of people who are going to be doing this, it's not really going to do much at all. Now, its final utility and what it can be used for, kind of irrelevant. The technology that allows for this happen is actually really cool potentially. So that's more what I'd be more bullish on. But being able to go across a bunch of pools, meh. Now, unless you wanted to delegate. So my pool, I don't personally do what a lot of people do, where you stake with me, you don't get ADA, and you get some other asset. I'm not the biggest fan of that because not everybody loves that. This is where this would come in the most handy is say you have, 10 units of ADA, and you really want to stake 90% of your ADA, but you think it would be cool to get like Meld or Society or something else, and then you can take 10% and do it there. But if you wanted to do that already, all you would have to do is go into Daedalus, make another wallet, move 10% of your ADA into that other wallet, take that other wallet, and then stake. So really this was there the entire time if you wanted to do it. The fact that it's automated seems pretty cool though. But I just would want to make sure nothing weird is happening. Like when they're making that new wallet, do they have any kind of control or custody with that wallet? And that's questions more than statements.
My question to you, BJ, is if I am, how do I word this? Just come back to me because I need to figure this out. Oh yeah, I figured it out.
Yeah.
So you've said before there's about 500 active pools.
No. Oh God, no. It's 2,900 roughly.
Yeah.
20. Okay. So maybe, all right, now I need to reframe my
the
question.
K value is currently at 500, which means roughly 500 pools will mint every epoch. There's a butt ton of pools that have never minted or never will mint.
Okay. So yeah, my question would be, don't you think, well, I guess it's not a question, it's a statement. Don't you think it'd be kind of difficult to keep track of all of that if you're spreading it across all these pools and having to make sure that these pools are operational and they're minting blocks?
Not difficult. You just have to do it. So like pooltool.io, Sea Explorer, and other things. But yeah, I mean, you'd have to pay attention more. I mean, each wallet you can check on things. So it'd be interesting if they do something like what Tap Tools does, where everything's just aggregated and shows you what's done there. But ultimately, back to what I was saying, if you wanted to do that, I would just go into Daedalus. I'm not sure if you can do it with Uroi. You can definitely do it with Daedalus, though. Just make another wallet, move some of your assets into that wallet, stake that with a different thing if you want to. Like, I mean, there's no question of the self-sovereignty and self-custody that way.
Right.
So you have options.
It's interesting stuff. I like it. It's expansion and decentralization, man, on proof of stake systems.
And
So,
then
see that?
pay attention, make sure they aren't closing down between. And yeah, SPO can change their margin whenever.
Yeah.
It takes 3 epochs for it to come into effect, but you can change it at any point in time. So my thoughts on SNEC, I own it. I don't know what they're really going to do with it. I own it.
I know at this point it's
Like,
low enough where like
There's a community.
I know there's a community and it's like I expect it to crash, but like it's at the point where I might throw $100 at it because it's like at the bottom.
I had
it
somebody
looks so
ripping
low.
on me, being like, "This is what a rug pull looks like." When like it ripped. I mean, it was up thousands
It was
of percent.
crushing it. It was
It
crushing
is still significantly up from before it did all those rips. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
People
if
got
you're
in
bullish on Doge, why not be bullish on this?
I know.
Like, but I mean, I can't sit here and be like, "Here are the tokenomics. Here's this." But like, seems like they're doing things.
Don't question
We're going to be
memes, man.
drinking their energy drinks here soon. Either way,
Yeah,
regardless.
sponsor
Well, I'm
us.
gonna look at the back label before I drink.
I'm
it.
not. I'm going to go
You're
full
just
on.
going
I'm
for
just
it?
going for it. You know what I mean? Ryan Selkis, great person to follow on Twitter or X rather. 2-bit idiot over there. There are 33 investors who have done.
Daniel,
What's
what does
that?
it say, huh? When you say butt ton of pools, do you mean like Nicki Minaj
Oh, my
butt or
God.
Tay-Tay butt or in the middle like J-Lo butt?
No, definitely Lizzo amounts of pools out there.
J-Lo and
I don't know if you ever get a Lizzo amount of pools. Setting up a pool is not easy, and that is, I wouldn't even say a quarter of the battle.
Like you just said, there's like less than 3,000 people in the world that run a pool.
Why does my head look small? He said my head
Damn,
looks
BJ
small.
is the 1% for real.
Yeah, he is.
Well, we knew that already.
Yeah,
Well, look,
we did.
I like
honestly.
this guy. This guy's a 1%er of alpha. He's highlighting the 33 investors have done 10 or more rounds, announced crypto deals this year. Crypto's top 20 Chad, deploy your roars. Now, this is just highlighting how many rounds these different organizations have funded. Coinbase Ventures, who we bring up and kind of follow a lot, along with Animoca Brands, have done So Coinbase Ventures had done 324 funded rounds. Animoca in there with 271. Those are definitely the two main top dogs. NGC Ventures, something, I mean, it's been around. It's something I should probably be paying attention to more because it looks like it's right in the mix with
Nervo's
Animoca.
chilling out on Poly, Chain Capital, and then whatever's below.
I want to add something
Hash
to
key.
this.
Yeah.
Just because you see someone like a Coinbase Ventures giving money or investing in these projects doesn't mean that they're legit.
No,
Perfect
I mean-
example is Vold, right at the bottom,
Yes.
backed by Coinbase Ventures, and they went bankrupt, and I'm waiting to get my funds off of it still. So just keep that in mind.
Yes, they are taking risks on
Is that
these
the one
rounds.
that's still charging you interest on $0?
No, that was BlockFi.
That's what that
oh
was.
man, yeah. If you had a BlockFi account, they like disabled their dashboard UI, and I wasn't able to pay off the interest it was charging me on a zero balance, and it caused my credit score to go down like 200 points. For like 3 months, I was unable to like even pay it off.
You aren't even able to finance your Uber Eats.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going to do. Unbelievable.
Oh, man.
So we
Maybe
have Ripple Party.
Maybe one day I'll get the $200 of Bitcoin I accrued over using my BlockFi credit card. Maybe one day I'll get it
They
back.
still owe you that too?
Yeah.
A lot? How much? A lot?
It's like $200 of Bitcoin.
okay.
But still, I mean, I got the card so I could get those rewards, and
Yeah.
they
I
rug pulled me.
remember when
yeah.
I remember when Taco like first started, he was like shilling BlockFi to me. Like he was like not shilling, but he was like telling me about
Use it or else.
And I was like, "Whoa, that's really cool." I'm like so glad I didn't.
Veteran Crypto says crypto is still highly speculative. You ready for this? You don't know that you exist.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
literally.
Here
Like,
we go.
what
Totally
even
here we
is
go.
time?
I'm speculating on the Ripple Party though.
No, I mean, crypto is still highly speculative. Like I'm
Ripple's
just
got
playing.
that proper party coming up.
On the 29th?
29th, September 29th.
Is anybody going?
No, I'm not going. I'm going to be holding down the fort. But, you know, I've been swirling it for like a month or two, and I've seen other people kind of bring it up. They might be setting up this proper party for a potential IPO. I kind of feel like it might be what is going to be announced at this party. Looks like it's going to be in New York City. You can sign up here. If you go to Ripple, just their X account or whatnot, they got kind of a sign up portal for it. You can reserve your spot
You
here.
hit the button,
Oh, and
Owen.
pull up the.
Jesus.
Thank you. All
Are
right,
you a sleepy boy?
Now, so this is it. Thank you very much, Owen. The Proper Party 929.com. Go check it out. You could be in person and see if they IPO. But if you're not going to the party and you want to have a chance of getting into a potential IPO for Ripple ahead of time.
Oh, they're just arrest everybody for
well,
buying unregistered securities. I'm completely kidding.
if they're not there to arrest everyone, you can go
They're
there,
not.
see if they're having it. But also, we have a sponsor linked to in the description that is giving people access to getting around accredited investor requirements and getting access to Ripple shares. The minimum is, I believe, $2,500 of investment. So if you're into traditional stocks and things like that, you want to be interested in what Ripple might be able to pull off over the next few years from a stock perspective, this is a great opportunity to do so. So make sure you check it out. Link is in our description. Get ahead of it before that September 29th party happens. And then we'll be all reading the news on, are we going to the moon? Are we already there? Is my spacesuit on or off? Or where am I
Is it
right
just
now?
a space station?
Hey, where's my super suit?
Yeah, Win Moon. Owen Allen, I am nice to Owen.
Owen.
Owen, am I not nice to you?
Show face.
See, he said it softly.
Wait, one moon?
He's like,
Roughly
"You're
around the
nice."
Younger Dryas period when it showed up.
Yeah. You're terrible. You're absolutely terrible. Also, look at this, guys.
Oh, man.
Check out, me and DZ are going to be doing some MRE taste testing here. It's definitely going to give me heartburn. He's doing Italian sausage with peppers and onions. Out of an MRE, it looked like absolute chaos, and it's definitely going to give me heartburn for
I
at
need to
least
see
a
this.
week.
His desk
So-
is looking crazy.
Yeah.
There's like 10,000 on.
So I don't have to Google it. What's MRE?
Meals ready to eat.
Yeah, it's just basically a meal that stays good without having to be refrigerated. And military use them to feed troops on the move, or they practice eating them just to be used force. Yeah, space food. Oh God, remember space ice cream?
Yeah, it was amazing. Slash, it was terrible.
They need to bring back space ice cream.
No.
Did you guys, on a completely different point, did you guys hear about that women space explorer that's at the she like ruined like years of research, and she's like sabotaging decades of research. She's sabotaging the whole entire space station. It's gonna cost millions and millions of dollars to fix it, and like she wants to leave early.
She put a in the toilet. She put a hole in the toilet, and like it fucked up like the whole.
They all have to wear diapers now. The whole entire place is contaminated with like a film
no way to
of.
fix it.
Wait, they just already had diapers there?
Because she wanted to go home because of her like relationship. She's like in space, and she's like, I want to go home, so she just like.
She sabotaged the whole thing.
Imagine we're in a war and a woman president's just like, I'm tired of this. I gotta go deal with my relationship.
I gotta get my nails done.
You guys are gonna go figure this out. That's gonna be
hundreds of millions of dollars drained down the toilet.
That's gonna be great. Oh my God, I don't even know how to respond to that. That sounds like a really
read
shitty
the story.
situation.
I think it's on Reddit.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll look into it and we'll cover it on Monday. That sounds like a very very shitty situation. But thank you all for joining us today, Owen. You did a great job. I think that you are Princess Diana's child by the way you operate yourself. This kid has the confidence of a bull in a china shop. It's
and the voice of a princess.
And the voice of a prince.
Voice.
Yes. Or prince. Steve Venture Crypto, Owen Allen, Daniel Keha, Deadwood, BG Bob from accounting, Mountain House for the win. I would say, let's see, God, there's a better one than Mountain House. Mountain House is pretty good, but it's probably number 2. I'll come back to you with that one. I have a really good one. I'll bring it on Monday. Crimson Caravan coming to skid marks. Thank you all for joining us. You guys are the best chat squad disco group out there on the internets. We are moving the buck forward. We're keeping people informed. We're spreading the good word about cryptocurrency and the power of decentralization. So with all of this, spread the information to your loved ones. Just go touch some grass this weekend. It's Friday. We always say that. I'm going to go shoot some guns. I'm going to go cut some trees down. I might even kill a chicken. So what?
No.
It happens.
To feed his family.
See?
No.
Taco,
Eggs.
It's been a joy having you here. It really has.
I love being here, guys.
It's been a joy. BJ, as always.
No.
Yes.
Hey, if you're bored this weekend, you want to play some NFT games, check out my NFT Alpha video coming out at 7 tonight.
Hey, do it. Hannah, what do you got going? You're doing ATB, right?
ATB tonight, and buy my keys on Frentech.
All right.
Hey-o.
There you go.
If you're a real one.
There you go. Check out Hannah's Twitter.
Wow,
Buy some Friend
shilling
Tech
rug
things.
pulls over here.
I know. Don't
No,
put too much
Rug.
on.
You want to make some money? Invest in me, baby. Long term.
Oh my God. All right, we're cutting the
love you
stream.
long
Cut the
time.
stream. Cut the stream.